Alright, what's happening? So this is a video, basically what I think the state of, I'll move this off a wee bit, the state of Star Wars is. If you don't know what Star Wars is, it is a very independent, small Disney franchise. And if you've never heard of Disney, you know what, I wouldn't blame you because it's also quite a small company. So yeah, it's basically explaining what I think about it. I know people don't care, especially when it's coming from a straight cis white male who has a beard and no one listens to him even to begin with. Oh, I'm so lonely. So yeah, I mean, where would we start? On the newer stuff. The Force Awakens, Rogue One, Rebels, I would say as well. Rogue One, Last Jedi, and Han Solo. For the most part, I'm not a big fan of the newer movies. Granted, I've only seen three out of the four. Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Last Jedi, and I didn't like anything from Force Awakens. I hated every single bit of it because I felt like I basically just paid to see a remake of A New Hope, and no disrespect to people who undoubtedly worked incredibly hard for it, I don't want to see a remake of another. Like, there is so much in terms of what there is in Star Wars and what Disney ruled out, there's only so much you can do unless you start creating new stuff, which I feel like they have the opportunity to do. So where was I? I have forgotten everything now. So yeah, I didn't like The Force Awakens. There wasn't anything I liked about it. I didn't like any of the characters. I thought they were gurney bastards, if I'm to be honest with you. Rogue One was fine. I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch, at least. Well, the dramatic parts were crap, but once you get to the actual action, you can tell that they kind of didn't care that much about the drama and kind of put all their cards on the action, which was good. I enjoyed the action. There wasn't much to care about in the first place, but I enjoyed it. Then came The Last Jedi, which is divisive to begin with. People say it's not a Star Wars film. It's a rip-off. It's not. Rian Johnson has killed the franchise. Kathleen Kennedy has killed the franchise. All that stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that. Just hear me out for people who do agree with that. I didn't like The Last Jedi all that much. In fact, I barely liked it. It was a bit of a mess tonally. Like, it starts off with like a Yo Mama battle, essentially, which was so out of place for a Star Wars film. And I get that the fact that they're trying to move on and sort of establish like this is more in the future, so things would move on, but I still think it was so out of place. Like, okay, I'll hold. And it's like, mate, what are you doing? Stop, just stop. And like, oh, your mama's so fat. She's bigger than a Death Star. Or whatever he said. And once that happened, I knew something was wrong. I haven't seen Han Solo yet. I would love to. But I never had the opportunity to see it. Time schedule and whatnot. So yeah, but what I've heard about it, it seems like I wouldn't mind it. Bar the droid. I'm not going to go into that because I haven't seen Han Solo, so I'm not going to comment on stuff that I haven't seen. But to get on to the actual state of it, I think it's pretty much on its last legs. It will come to a point that it's already like superhero movies. It's already oversaturated. You know, they're really squeezing every last drop they can get out of it in terms of money. But people still go to watch it, obviously. People still love whatever gets put on the big screen, which is fair enough. I'm not going to judge you for that. It's completely fine. But there are people who despise it, and I mean, a couple of things have come out recently about, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Ahmed Best, or Ahmed Best. He played Jar Jar Binks, and what he said was like he was basically on the brink of suicide. He was contemplating suicide, I should say, because the Star Wars fans. He was Jar Jar Binks and Phantom Menace and stuff. The Star Wars fans basically, and I'm basically a Star Wars character there. They just, I'm not too sure what the right word is, so I'm just going to say a random collection of words. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it's accurate, it's accurate. I hurled abuse at him for being Jar Jar Binks, and we all know Jar Jar Binks is an annoying character. We all know that, and that's completely fine. You know, only kids like him, and then when they get older, they're like, oh God, he's horrible. But is that Ahmed Best's fault? No, it is not. It is not his fault. It is George Lucas's fault on that. This point kind of ties into the fan point, like the fan base of Star Wars, which, by the way, is one of the worst fan bases, coming from a big Star Wars fan who's slowly on the decline in love of Star Wars. I will always love for 3 to 6. I will love them until I die. But it's, you know, the near stuff that's making me go off it, and the fan base that's making me go off it. I can still watch those and still think they are masterpieces in science fiction and just cinematic history in general. Pardon me. But the sort of the main reasons why Star Wars is down is because of Kathleen Kennedy and the fan base. Kathleen Kennedy is like the head of Lucasfilm now, and I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. I'm sure she is. But I'm saying that I just don't think she's right for Star Wars. Like, I don't want to come off too controversial here, but I think she's pushing her agenda too much in it. Like I know I said I wasn't going to talk about things I haven't seen, but the droid in Han Solo is apparently is like an SJW hero. Not my words. Not my words. I haven't seen it, but they're not my words. And yeah, there's a lot of like strong female characters, which is fine. It's fine. Don't hate me for saying that. I'm not disagreeing. There shouldn't be strong female characters. Oh no. In fact, I love Ripley, the character, for millions. She is a fantastic written character. Sarah Connor from Terminator 1 and 2, fantastically written character. So, you know, it's not like Lara Croft, I don't play the games, I don't watch the films, but, you know, she's a strong female character. People like her, so it's fine. It's, you know, if you do it right, it works. But in the case of the likes of Rey, who I feel that, I mean, it's kind of the whole point, but I'm going to just start with a comparison here, Luke versus Rey, almost. This is probably the wrong way to do it in, but we'll do it anyway. In Luke, as we knew from 4 and 5, we knew enough about him to like him. You know, what he was like when he being raised. He was raised by his uncle and his aunt. Then they died. He goes off and he trains with Yoda, and he essentially becomes a Jedi. And with Rey, we know nothing about her parentage. We understand how Luke got his force abilities. Obi-Wan, how do I explain this? I know. Don't turn off, you. Sorry. We know that in episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, we know that we find out that Darth Vader is Luke's dad, which means, you know, the Force, the midichlorians, to say, as George Lucas would say it on screen, carried over from his dad. Whereas in 4 we didn't really know, but we kind of, you know, there was a reason. There was bound to be a reason there. He wouldn't just get it out of nowhere, and, you know, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ben Kenobi as he was referred to in A New Hope, you know, with him being so close, you know, you would get a feeling that, oh, maybe he was watching over him. You know, maybe, you know, he's watched over him for a reason. Maybe there's a reason why Obi-Wan is there in the first place. Maybe not to watch over, but maybe because he can sense Luke. Well, obviously we found out in 3 that Obi-Wan stayed at Tatooine. Never mind. That's really not the point. It was kind of like just a stroke of luck that R2-D2 and C-3PO were purchased by Luke and Uncle Owen. But I still think that he still would have found out that he had the Force. So yeah, we found out, you know, we kind of understand why he has the Force. And we found out in 5. But in 7 and 8, for Rey, I feel like we know less about her now than we did in episode 7. So there's kind of no explanation of how she has the Force. I know if the Force can come out of nowhere and you can just be gifted with it, like Anakin was kind of like that, but you know, that Anakin kind of ties into the theory of Darth Plagueis versus Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious killed Plagueis, and he spared his own knife to give another, which was Anakin. So that, I feel like, you know, Anakin was formed from that. At least that's my belief in it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? And Rey could be like that, but I mean, it's already confirmed that she had parents. I think she remembers very little, which is understandable because even I remember very little about my childhood. Not that it was bad or anything, but you know, we don't remember everything, and especially if it's traumatic. Sometimes if you have a sort of traumatic childhood, it goes one way or the other. It goes in a way of you remember everything negative about your childhood, or you remember extreme, like even less than you would normally. Nothing was answered in 5, and it just feels like there's more questions to be answered. And at this current moment of time, it kind of just seems like she has come out of nowhere. No one has ever discovered the fact that she might have some Force abilities. She's never discovered this on accident. You know, it's just it literally just has come out of the blue, which to an extent is fine. But I feel like she is also just kind of written to be completely overpowered. Which, yeah, done right is fine. I don't mind. I don't care what you are. You know, I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, or the other ones. You know, I don't care if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community. That's fine to me. I really don't care. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. And in terms of in cinema, as long as it makes sense, it doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel like it's just there to be a token black girl or whatever, or black guy in a horror film, you know. As long as everything does make sense, that is fine by me. Whereas I feel that Rey kind of makes no sense. Obviously, it does make sense to an extent, but I mean, at the same time, it doesn't really make sense to me. This is more of just a comparison at this rate, isn't it? You know, just some girl, you know, in Jakku in the desert, and then all of a sudden she's like the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. It kind of feels like it's forced and out of the blue. If there's a bit more explanation in the next one, then, you know, completely disregard this video, or you know, whatever. You know, completely disregard it. Throw it out. Then you can comment, I fucking hate you, Billy. Don't ever talk again, you know. So yeah, I mean, there is that. That's her agenda. I feel like her agenda is make everything about females great and make everything about males bad. To an extent, again, I realize I'm kind of just being a contradiction, a big walking, talking contradiction, because Captain Phasma is bad, Finn is good. But the way you can look at, I'm not going to get into the social politics that much. I've already kind of dabbed in a wee bit. I'm going to just bring myself back. So, yeah, I feel like that is her agenda for the most part. I always have a female character who is always going to be strong at some point. Like, it's almost as if there's no such thing as a damsel in distress, which could be wrong. Because it's a female doesn't necessarily mean it's sexist. And like I said, I don't want to make this too controversial, but I mean, it's stupid. I mean, not all females are strong. Not all females are weak. Not all males are strong. Not all males are weak. You know what I mean? So it's not just like you can have one or the other. It is hard to explain for me. So I'm just going to avoid that and just say I think Kevin Kennedy is part of the problem. Why Star Wars is kind of going downhill. And to sort of branch off like a mini, like almost like a family tree. This is like a wee, a wee arrow that goes nowhere, just stops. For now. The making of The Last Jedi was a mistake. Rian Johnson, I don't know what he was smoking when he thought that this was going to be a quality film. Because a lot of the script was horrible, like I've already said. And I feel like because of the amount of backlash that's gotten, Han Solo then took a hit from that, even though from what I've heard of it, it's half decent. It's not a bad film. It's actually pretty good. The sort of backlash from The Last Jedi has spawned over to Han Solo, and therefore I think Disney are now sort of looking at the Star Wars franchise and going, well, I just lost a little of my pen. I think Disney are now looking at the Star Wars franchise going, well, is there any more that we can do? Is there much point? Because it seems to be if even we make a quality film such as Han Solo, it's going to get hated because of what has happened to the recent Star Wars films, and I think that is it's something to see. It is, but I feel like they need to take more risks that make sense, and that's the important thing. Coherency is a big, massive, important factor in Star Wars. The risks taken in The Last Jedi were not coherent. You can't. I mean, if we're going to argue that they were, then comment in the comment section. Why were they coherent? What makes them coherent? How do they make sense into the Star Wars universe? So I think they weren't. And, if you think they are, I wouldn't say fine, but please explain yourself. And the appointment of Rian Johnson as well was a bit of a mistake. I'm not saying he's a bad director, but I feel like he just had eyes on destroying Star Wars. But there have been some recent screenshots of him sort of liking or favoriting or retweeting some weird tweets or like remake The Last Jedi for okay, me audacity stop, sorry. Hopefully there's no glitches in the Matrix there. A lot of, what was I saying? Yeah, a lot. He's been seen favoriting and retweeting tweets that are like remake The Last Jedi without this, without that, and it seems to be without a lot of the problems that are in The Last Jedi, such as Rose. Rose is a big, I feel like a massive problem. I mean, I have nothing against the actress. I know she quit social media, which is horrible because of the fans. Again, fans again. I think for them, I'm gonna call off that. Basically, Ryan Johnson's appointment was a mistake. Unless the heads of Disney, the quote unquote creative heads at Disney, had a say in what happens in The Last Jedi. Because it kind of seems that way if he's liking and retweeting tweets that are saying remake The Last Jedi without this or with this. So I mean, it's almost like some sort of vortex in space of time. Like, it almost just makes no sense. Like, there shouldn't be a way to destroy Star Wars, but yet it has been destroyed almost. At this point, it's kind of like crawling. You know what it is? It's like if you've ever played, like a shooter, like say, from my experience, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or Rainbow Six Siege. It's like you're downed and you're crawling. You're trying to, someone's securing the objective in the sense of Rainbow Six Siege, and you're trying to crawl back in. You are crawling your lights out, and you can't get there, and the time's almost up. I feel like that's the point that Star Wars is. I feel like that's where Star Wars is right now, and that's sad. It's sad to see. At the same time, it can only be used as a lesson to other franchises. Jurassic Park, because, well, it will happen, and people already hate Jurassic World, like me. I hate Jurassic World. I haven't seen the second one. Unfortunately, I will have to. That's not the point. So yeah, I mean, if I just shorten it down, instead of rambling on, the main reasons. Well, first of all, the state of Star Wars is the fact that it's dying. It is dying. It's last legs. It's got no arms and one leg, with like one toe, and it's trying to push itself over the line to finish the race. It doesn't want to finish last, but it's going to. And I think the reasons why is a lot of the fan base are boycotting films, which is stupid. Don't boycott. Like, why? I mean, you are, like, for every 2-3 bad films you get a really, really, really good film. Like Han Solo, apparently. So it's kind of stupid to boycott. Another reason is Kathleen Kennedy. I presume, and from what I've heard, a lot of cases she has a lot of say in Star Wars in general. So, then she would fall into the reason why Star Wars is dying. So yeah, I mean, if you follow any of this, I tried to script it, I really did, but it turned into a mess. Yeah, but hopefully I got my point across near the end. So yeah, if you agree, comment if you want, saying I agree, or like the video, share the video if you agree. Do anything you can to promote my message. It's like indoctrination of our nation. System of a Down reference for you there. So yeah, if you don't agree though, don't leave a dislike, and leave. Maybe you want to have a decent discussion. Let me know why you disagree with what I'm saying, because I will tell you, I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to send shit through your door. I'm going to be respectful and listen to your side of the argument and see if you can change my mind, or even have an influence on me, just changing some aspects of my belief. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe for more. I mostly do film reviews, but I just felt like doing something else for you. I uploaded Wish Upon yesterday, I think. So I just think, maybe doing something else. Give them a treat. Give them a 30-minute video of me talking endlessly and people wanting to kill themselves by listening to my beautiful, soothing voice. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to look at the Bandcamp. On the Bandcamp there is commentary tracks of the two films I have reviewed. The Forest and Wish Upon. If you haven't seen them, then it's the perfect thing to do. If you have seen them, and you just maybe want a different perspective, go ahead, get them. They're only 50p, but of course you can't donate more if you choose to, which would be, of course, greatly appreciated. It would only help further the channel and the quality. But I mean, you can get it for free. There's plenty of websites that actually get it for free. So I'm not going to stop you. I can't do anything to stop you. So yeah, thank you for if you listened and you're still listening, thank you very much. I do greatly appreciate it. It helps. And again, let me know. What do you think? What do you think about the state of Star Wars? What is it? What are the reasons? If you think it's dying again, like me, why do you think it's dying? Is there something I missed? Let me know. If you don't think it's dying, why? Let me know. Have a decent discussion. Don't go all mental and say that I'm homophobic and racist and all the stuff like that, and transphobic and anti-Semitic for some reason. So yeah, let me know. Thank you very much for listening or watching. That's no videos, but listening. Enjoy your day while I cry in my corner and wish that I could fast forward to the time I have 5 million quid.